Sammy, no! Hazel protested, but Sammy snatched up the stone and slipped it into his pocket in one smooth move. He wheeled on Rufus. I want emotion. I want the ladies in the audience swooning. Ladies, did Mr. Cooper make you swoon just now? No! Several of them called back. There, you see? Sammy cried. Now, from the top, he yelled into his dunce cap. Action! Rufus was just starting to get over his confusion. He stepped towards Sammy and said, Valdez, I'm gonna. The bell rang. Kids swarmed the doors. Sammy pulled Hazel out of the way of the little ones, who acted like they were on Sammy's payroll, herded Rufus along with them so that he was carried inside on a tide of kindergartners. Soon Sammy and Hazel were alone except for the ghosts. Sammy scooped up Hazel's smashed lunch, made a show of dusting off the canvas bag, and presented it to her with a deep bow, as if it were her crown. Miss Lamar. Hazel from the past took her ruined lunch. She looked like she was about to cry, but Leo couldn't tell if it was from relief, or misery, or admiration. Sammy, Rufus is going to kill you. Ah, he knows better than to tangle with me. Sammy plopped the dunce cap on top of his jockey cap. He stood up straight and stuck out his scrawny chest. The dunce cap fell off. Hazel laughed. You're ridiculous. Why, thank you, Miss Lamar. You're welcome, my treacherous darling. Sammy's smile wavered. The air became uncomfortably charged. Hazel stared at the ground. You shouldn't have touched that diamond. It's dangerous. Ah, come on, Sammy said. Not for me. Hazel studied him warily, like she wanted to believe it. Bad things might happen. You shouldn't. I won't sell it, Sammy said. I promise. I'll just keep it as a token of your favor. Hazel forced a smile. I think you mean a token of my favor? There you are. We should get going. It's time for our next scene. Hedy Lamar nearly dies of boredom in English class. Sammy held out his elbow like a gentleman, but Hazel pushed him away playfully. Thanks for being there, Sammy. Miss Lamar, I will always be there for you, he said brightly. The two of them raced back to the schoolhouse. Leo felt more like a ghost more than ever. Maybe he'd actually been an Idolian his whole life, because the kid he'd just seen should have been the real Leo. He was smarter, cooler, and funnier. He flirted so well with Hazel that he had obviously stolen her heart. No wonder Hazel looked at Leo so strangely when they first met. No wonder she said Sammy with so much feeling. But Leo was not Sammy, any more than Flathead Rufus was Clark Gable. Hazel, he said, I don't. The schoolyard dissolved into a different scene. Hazel and Leo were still ghosts, but now they stood in front of a run-down house next to a drainage ditch with overgrown weeds. A clump of banana trees drooped in the yard. Perched on the steps, an old-fashioned radio played conjunto music, and on the shaded porch, sitting in a rocking chair, a skinny old man gazed at the horizon. Where are we? Hazel asked. She was still only vapor, but her voice was full of alarm. This isn't from my life. Leo felt as if his ghostly self was thickening, becoming more real. The place seemed strangely familiar. It's Houston, he realized. I know this view. That drainage ditch? That's my mom's old neighborhood, where she grew up. Hobby Airport is over that way. This is your life? Hazel said. I don't understand. How? You're asking me? Leo demanded. Suddenly the old man murmured, Hazel. A shock went up Leo's spine. The old man's eyes were still fixed on the horizon. How did he know they were here? I guess we ran out of time, the old man continued dreamily. Well, he didn't finish the thought. Hazel and Leo stayed very still. The old man made no further sign that he saw them or heard them. It dawned on Leo that the guy had been talking to himself. But then, why had he said Hazel's name?